healed. We sat on the porch where your mother used to pray, the jasmine climbing wild like it had something to say. You roll your sleeve above the elbow slow, showed me a scar I didn't know. From the night the city tried to swallow you whole, from the man who said he loved you but stole more than your time, more than your trust. You said, I don't want to use this as a weapon. I just want you to know where I've been, so you don't think the woman sitting here is the same girl who waved from the gate back then. I looked at the mark like it was scripture, not a flaw to fix, but a line to read. I understood that love isn't about being perfect, it's about being honest when you bleed. Scars make the map and I'll show you mine too, the places where the city broke me through. We'll trace them with our fingers like cartographers of pain, and chart a course where love can grow again. I pulled my shirt aside above the heart, showed you the place where the mirror did its work, where I had to cut away the pride and anger just to find the boy beneath the hurt. I told you about the women and the empty nest, not to wound you, but to let you see that the man who stands before you isn't spotless, but he's someone who chose honesty. You trace the line with your fingertip gentle, like you were reading braille on my skin. And you said, I don't love you in spite of these marks, I love you because of where you've been. And I looked at your eyes like they were compass, not pointing north, but pointing home. I understood that love isn't about being perfect, it's about not having to be alone. Scars make the map and I'll show you mine too, the places where the city broke me through. We'll trace them with our fingers like cartographers of pain, and chart a course where love can grow again. We say love is blind, but I say love should have its eyes wide open. I wanna see the damage, I wanna know the cracks, because a map without the hard terrain is just a pretty picture, not a way to get somewhere. So lay it all out, every wound, every wrong turn, every fall, and I'll lay out mine. folded inward, and the crickets sang their evening hymn. You told me about the miscarriage I never knew, how you buried the grief so deep within that even your mother didn't know the fullness of the sorrow that you carried like a stone. And I held you then, not like a savior, but like a man who finally knows that the only way to walk into the future is with every truth laid on the table, that the map we draw won't be pretty, but it will be honest, and it will be able to guide us through whatever storms lie cornered, because we know the terrain, we know the cost, we know the places where the ground gets shaky, and we know the places where we're lost. Scars make the map, darling, show me where it hurts, not so I can judge you, but so I can learn the geography of who you had to become to survive the years when I was gone. Scars make the map, and I'll show you mine too, the places where the city broke me through. We'll trace them with our fingers like cartographers.
Crate. The bed is too big. The sheets are cold. Where did the warmth go? I woke up at 5 because the sheet was tangled on your side where nobody sleeps anymore. My hand reached out like it was still expecting the curve of your back, the rhythm of your snore. But the pillow was flat, the case was cold cotton, the indent where your head used to be was just memory now, just a ghost of a habit. And the weight of that, nothing was crushing me. I never knew that absence had a body, that emptiness could press down on your chest. I thought I was strong when I let you go, but strength was just pride in a Sunday dress. The weight of empty sheets, heavier than stone, heavier than all the nights I spent alone. I took your warmth for granted like the air. Now I'm suffocating in the nothing that's there. The weight of empty sheets pulling me down into the silence where your laughter used to sound. I learned to hold the space wake up shivering and you'd pretend to sleep. How I'd pull it back and you'd pull it harder. How we'd fight with smiles, how the day would creep into the room with coffee smells and your humming. How you'd stretch your arms like a cat in the sun. I remember thinking, this is just what mornings are, not knowing that one day this would be done, not knowing that I'd trade every comfortable night for one more morning of you stealing everything. I never knew that absence had a body, that emptiness could press down on your chest. I thought I was strong when I let you go, but strength was just pride in a Sunday dress. The weight of empty sheets, heavier than stone, heavier than all the nights I spent alone. I took your warmth for granted like the air. Now I'm suffocating the nothing that's there. The weight of empty sheets pulling me down into the silence where your laughter used to sound. I learned to hold the space too late. Now I'm drowned in the shade of where you used to lay. They say you don't know what you have till it's walking down the road with a suitcase. But they don't tell you about the sheets, how they keep the cold like a grudge, how the bed becomes a continent and you're stranded on one side, learning to sleep in the middle, like a man who doesn't know how to hold space for anyone, including himself. So I wash the sheets more than I need to, hoping the detergent will erase the smell of mango and jasmine and whatever you wore that made the room feel like a prayer, like a spell. But the ghost of you is stubborn in the cotton. It clings to the fibers like it knows I'm wrong. And I lie there at night with the weight of my lessons, learning to hold the space I held too long, learning that love isn't just the having, it's the making room, it's the letting stay, it's waking up at 5 and not reaching out, because you learn to give, not just take away. The weight of empty sheets, heavier than stone, heavier than all the nights I spent alone. I took your warmth for granted like the air. Now I'm suffocating bus turns on the red dirt, hills in the distance. I'm coming home, I'm coming home. The bus turned off the highway at the old stone bridge. I pressed my forehead to the glass like a child. The hills rose up to greet me in the distance, green and patient, they had never gone wild. I saw the flamboyant tree before I saw the house, burning orange like it was holding a flame. And every mango tree along the roadside seemed to whisper my forgotten name. And my heart was pounding like a drum of homecoming, not sure if I was welcome anymore, not sure if the valley had forgiven the boy who chose to walk out that door. The road remembers your feet, even after all these years. Every stone, every bend, every mile of tears. You can leave the valley, but the valley don't leave you. It waits in the soil and the morning dew. The road remembers your feet, the red dirt knows your weight. It holds the story of the boy and the man he tried to create. I'm walking back to face what I left behind, hoping that forgiveness isn't hard to find. The creek was lower than I remember, but the guava tree still bent with fruit. I passed old Mr. Gordon's rusty bicycle, leaning against the fence in mute salute. The neighbors stopped their sweeping and their washing. They looked at me like I was a ghost returned. I waved, but my hand felt heavy with the leaving, with all the bridges I had left to burn. Mrs. Isaac smiled from her veranda, and something in my chest began to thaw. The valley didn't greet me like a stranger, it greeted me like it had known me before.
just a grave you shouldn't dig. But I say the past is where the roots are waiting, and a tree can't grow if it's too proud to bend. So I walk with empty hands and full confession. I walk with every lesson carved in bone. The road don't care about your city money. It just wants to bring its children home. Its children home. The gate was hanging just the way I left it. Paint peeling, hymns singing in the breeze. I stood there with my suitcase full of nothing, and I fell down on my knees. Not because the journey was so heavy, but because the mercy was so light. The road had brought me back to where I started, not as the boy, but as the man who won the fight. Against the temper and the pride and the running, against the city and the emptiness it sowed, I came back with my hands open, palms upward, hoping the valley would still accept the gold that was buried underneath all. The pen is heavy, the paper is blank, the heart is full. Finally, I bought blue ink and paper from the corner shop, the same color we used to seal with candle wax. I sat at the desk where the streetlight cuts through, and I stared at the page for an hour, maybe two. The pen felt foreign in my callous fingers, like holding hands with honesty again. I wrote your name and I had to stop there, 'cause just those letters made the room go thin. I thought about the telephone wire static, how I held the line but never said the truth, how I let the noise between us become a habit, how I let the silence eat the city, how I made it sound like something I had to do, when really I was running from the mirror that showed me I was never worthy of you. I wrote about the women and the empty, how their bodies couldn't fill the space you left, how I used them like a rum I didn't need, to forget the taste of your breath. I wrote about my father's temper in my voice, about the nights I broke things just to feel, about the healing that I'm doing in the quiet, and how that healing led me back to real. And I realized pride was just a prison built with bricks of every word I swallowed down. So I dipped the pen and I kept on digging till the truth was all that could be found. Writing the unsent letter, bleeding into blue. Every word a brick I'm taking from the wall I built between my heart and you. Writing the unsent letter, not asking for a key, just needing you to know I failed, and that failure lives in me. I'm laying down my armor line by line. I'm crossing out the lies I told myself, that you were better off, that you were fine. Writing the unsent letter, not to win, but because the truth has been too long a stranger, and I'm letting the stranger in. I don't know if you'll ever read this. I don't know if the address still finds you, but I needed to say I'm sorry without the static, without the rum, without the pride, just ink and paper and the man I'm trying to become. I needed you to know that I remember the flamboyant tree, that I remember your mother's porch, that I remember, and I regret, and I'm different, or at least I'm trying to be. I sealed it with wax from a candle I bought new, not the stolen stubs from our childhood days, but something clean, something intentional, something that says I'm done with my old ways. I held it to my chest like a confession. I walked it to the post box down the street, and I stood there in the dawn with my heart beating, not knowing if this makes me strong or weak, but knowing that the bridge can't start with silence, knowing that the garden needs the rain, knowing that the letter might not change a thing, but not writing in with gray crime. Writing the unsent letter, bleeding into blue. Every word a brick I'm taking from the wall I built between my heart and you. Writing the unsent letter, not asking for a key, just needing you to know I failed, and that failure lives in me. I'm laying down my armor line by line. I'm crossing out the lies I told myself, that you were better off, that you were fine. mother's voice, rising like smoke. The evening comes soft to the valley. Your mother lights the kerosene lamp. I can see her shadow through the window, hands folded like a sacred map. You sit beside me on the wooden steps, neither of us knowing what to say, but the crickets sing their own hallelujah, and the fireflies hold their own ballet. And I hear her praying for protection for the children sleeping down the hall. And I realize you come from somewhere holy, long before I knew you at all. Your mother's porch, sanctuary of wood and prayer, where I learned your fears before I learned your body, where the jasmine climbs and the spirit lingers there. Your mother's porch, where love was taught to me, not with words, but with the way she held you, not with touch, but with the way she set you free. You told me once you were afraid of thunder, that you still slept with a candle lit. I told you I was scared of my father's silence, of becoming everything he wasn't bit by bit. We traded fears like secret currency on that porch while the mosquitoes hum, not knowing that vulnerability was the truest form of love we'd ever plumbed. And I watched your mother wash the dishes, humming hymns she learned from her mother before. And I understood that love is a tradition passed down through the kitchen, through the floor. Your mother's porch, sanctuary of wood and prayer, where I learned your fears before I learned your body, where the jasmine climbs and the spirit lingers there. Your mother's porch, where love was taught to me, not with words, but with the way she held you, not with touch, but with the way she set you free. She called your name from inside. Come now, child, the night is falling. And you squeezed my hand so tight, like you were drowning, like you were calling. I wanted to be the harbor, I wanted to be the shore, but I was just a boy with borrowed jasmine evening, back to the things I never learned to say. How your mother's fate became your backbone, how your father's absence shaped your hands, how love, real love, is built in quiet kitchens by people who understand. Your mother's porch, sanctuary of wood and prayer, where I learned your fears before I learned your body, where the jasmine climbs and the spirit lingers there. Your mother's porch, where love was taught to me, not with words, but with the way she held you, not with touch, but with the way she set you free. Sanctuary, sanctuary. Your mother's porch, where I learned to love. Look at yourself. Really look. Who is that in the glass? I bought a mirror from a pawn shop on Orange Street, hung it crooked on the wall of my fourth floor cell. For weeks I walked past it like a stranger, too busy being someone else. But one night, after the rum had worn off and the girl from the harbor had gone home, I sat on the edge of my unmade bed and I looked at myself alone. The face that stared back wasn't the boy who raced you down Red Hill Road. This face had lines that weren't from laughing. This face had learned to carry a load. And the mirror didn't flutter, didn't cry. It just held my gaze and asked me why. The mirror asked questions and nobody dares. Who are you beneath the clothes you wear? Is that armor or is that skin? Have you been living or just fitting in? The mirror asked questions, silent and cold, stripping away the stories you've told about yourself, about what you could be when youth was armor and not identity. I remember the boy who swore he'd never change, who said the city couldn't touch his soul. But I heard my accent slipping in the interview. I felt my heart becoming cold. I remembered how I used to pray with your mother, how I used to believe that God was near. Now my prayers were just wishes sent to no one. Now my faith was just another thing to fear. The mirror showed me the weight I'd gained, not on my body but on my eyes. The way I looked at people like transactions, the way I'd learned to wear disguise. And the mirror didn't judge, didn't cry, it just held my gaze and asked me why. break the glass. I wanted to blame the city. I wanted to say this isn't me. But the mirror whispered back, this is exactly who you let yourself become. Now who do you want to be? Now who do you want to be? So I sat there till the dawn came through the window, and I answered every question true. I said I am the boy who loved without condition, and I am the man who forgot how to. I said I am the runner and the coward. I am the fool who let her go. But I am also the seed beneath the concrete, and I am also the one who knows that the mirror doesn't show the ending, it just shows where the story stands. And if I don't like the face that's looking back, I still have time to change my hand. The mirror asks questions that nobody dares. Who are you beneath the clothes you wear? Is that armor or is that skin? Have you been living or just fitting in? The mirror asks questions, silent and cold, stripping away the stories you've told about yourself, about what you could be when youth was armor and not identity. Who do you want to be? Who do you want to be? The mirror knows. The mirror knows. The mirror knows. Under the flamboyant tree, the gods were watching. Yes, they were. Mango season 1980 something. Red dirt road, dust rising slow. You with your braids and my torn up khakis, two small souls who didn't know that the was something ancient breaking through. Playground prophecy written in the leaves. Before we knew what love could be, the ancestors already set the table for two hearts running wild and free. Playground prophecy carved inside the bark. Before life taught us to be afraid, we were chosen long before we chose it. Under the flamboyant tree we made a promise that the wind still keeps today. Who knew that children playing could be saints in training? Who saw the blueprint drawn before the morning? We were just knee-high to the sun, but the story had already begun. Now I look back through the lens of ages at two small figures holding hands, not knowing that the road would twist and turn them through deserts far from this green land. But every seed that fell from that old mango was planting something we couldn't see. A love that started before we had the language, a prophecy beneath the flamboyant tree. Playground prophecy written in the leaves. Before we knew what love could be, the ancestors already set the table for two hearts running wild and free. Playground prophecy carved inside the bark. Before life taught us to be afraid, we were chosen long before we chose it. Under the flamboyant tree we made a promise that the wind still keeps today. Under the flamboyant tree we were chosen. We were chosen. The wind still keeps it. The wind still keeps it.
Clink. The TV is too hot, or maybe I'm too cold. 6 years in one cup. Your mother made the tea and left the room like she knew we needed walls to hold our breath. I sat at the kitchen table in my Sunday shirt, fingers tracing patterns on the cloth like it was life or death. You sat across with your hands around the cup, drinking, just warming what the years had chilled. I counted the tiles on the floor for something to do, while the clock on the wall refused to be still. You look different in the afternoon light, softer maybe, or maybe just more real. Your hair was shorter, and there was something in your eyes that said, I've been to places you don't know how to feel. Your tea is steaming, the first words after years, picking up the pieces through a fog of fears. How is the city? And your mother, every syllable a step across a frozen shell. Tea and trembling, neither one of us will drink. We're just holding on to porcelain to keep us from the brink of saying what needs saying, or falling or flying. So we sit with our tea and we keep on trying. I asked about your studies and you answered polite, like I was a stranger who had wandered in. You asked about my job and I made it sound like something, when really it was just a way to begin, to pay for the healing and the rent on the fourth floor, to pay for the nights I couldn't sleep. You nodded like you understood, but I could see the question behind your eyes, behind the wall so steep. Did you love him? You almost asked but didn't. Did you think of me? I almost said but couldn't. So we talked about the weather and the mango crop, and pretended that the years were something we could just walk. And the tea grew cold between us like a warning that time doesn't wait for the brave. I opened my mouth and the truth rushed in, 'cause I couldn't let this moment be our grave. Tea and trembling, the first words after years, picking up the pieces through a fog of fears. How is the city? And your mother, every syllable a step across a frozen shell. Tea and trembling, neither one of us will drink. We're just holding on to porcelain to keep us from the brink of saying what needs saying, or falling or flying. So we sit with our tea and we keep on trying. And you said, I got a letter, and the room stopped breathing. You said, I read it on the porch 3 times. You said, I didn't know you had that in you, and I didn't know what to say. So I said, I'm sorry. And you said, I know. And the tea went cold, but something else got warm. You reached across the table and you touched my hand, not like lovers, not yet, but like 2 people who had been through a war on different sides, and were meeting in the middle to
see what was still possible. You said, I'm not the girl who waved from the gate. I said, I'm not the boy who ran away. You said, I don't know if we can find it again. I said, I don't know either, but can we stay? Can we stay in this kitchen with the cold tea and just be two people who are trying to see if the seeds we planted when we were too young to know have anything left in them, anything left to grow? So we settle in the first words after years, picking up the pieces through a fog of fears. How is the city? Fine. And your mother? She's well. Every syllable a step across a frozen shell. Tea and trembling, neither one of us will drink. We're just holding on to porcelain to keep us from the brink of saying what he's saying, a falling or a flying. So we sit with our tea and we keep on trying. The tea is cold, but the room is warm. We keep on trying. We keep on trying.
Click. Ringing. Hello? Can you hear me? The line is bad. 11 o'clock and the house is heavy with sleeping. I crept to the parlor where the telephone lives. Dial the numbers that you gave me on brown paper, praying that your voice still had something to give. The operator said the line was a word. The storms between us made the wires weak, but I held the receiver like I was holding your hand, and I whispered, talk to me before I sleep. And I heard you crackle through the distance like a ghost learning how to be alive. Your voice breaking into pieces, but your heart refusing to say goodbye. Telephone wire static, holding on through the noise. Two hearts on a line that the world tries to destroy. Your words fade to snow, but I still feel the heat. night, then let me stay on this line. Let me stay. The clock struck midnight and my coins were running empty. Your voice grew smaller with each passing dime. But we didn't waste our breath on saying goodnight. We just held the line. We just held the line. And I understood that love is a stubborn thing that doesn't need perfection to survive. The two souls can be together in the static and still live completely alive. Telephone wire static, holding on through the noise. Two hearts on a line that the world tries to destroy. Your words fade to snow, but I still feel the heat of the love that travels underneath the street. Telephone wire static, don't hang up on me now. If silence is all we have, I'll take it somehow. I'll listen to the buzz and the hum and the dark, till your breath finds its way back to my heart. Hey, can you hear me? Can you hear me? Don't hang up. Don't hang.
Sound said the gate needs fixing. Words were never enough, so I pick up the hammer. I woke before the sun had warmed the valley. Put on my work clothes from the old wooden chest. The gate was hanging like a broken promise, so I started there, 'cause starting there made sense. I didn't knock on your window to announce me. I didn't wait for coffee or for thanks. I just worked the hinge until it stopped it screaming. And I oiled the chain and I cleared the rusted ranks. Your father watched me from the kitchen doorway. Didn't speak, just sipped his morning tea. But he didn't tell me to leave either, and that was more than I had hoped to see. 'Cause I had said I'm sorry in a letter. I had said it in the kitchen with my eyes. But sorry is a word that loses meaning if you don't back it up with sacrifice. The apology has no end. It's in the hammer swing. It's in the showing up before the rooster sings. It's not the pretty words wrapped up in blue ink. It's the blisters on my hands and the way I stop to think. Before I speak, before I run, before I break. The apology has no end. It's what I do when I wake. It's fixing what I can and holding what I can. It's learning to love fence that I had never noticed was peeling back to gray. From the rain, I cleared the gutter where the leaves had gathered. I worked through noon and I worked through pain. You watched me from the bedroom window. I felt your eyes like questions on my back, but I didn't turn around to seek your mercy. I just kept working on the broken track. 'Cause mercy isn't something you can ask for, it's something that you earn in increments. And the steady rhythm of a man descending to be the proof of what he represents. I had said I'm sorry in a letter. I had said it in the kitchen with my eyes. But sorry is a word that loses meaning if you don't back it up with sacrifice. The apology has no end. It's in the hammer swing. It's in the showing up before the rooster sings. It's not the pretty words wrapped up in blue ink. It's the blisters on my hands and the way I stop to think. Before I speak, before I run, before I break. The apology has no end. It's what I do when I wake. It's fixing what I can and then holding what I can't. It's learning that love is a daily covenant, a daily covenant. They say sorry is the hardest word, but I say sorry is the easiest. It's the Monday after sorry and the Tuesday and the Wednesday. That's the heavy lifting. That's where the muscle grows. I'm not asking you to forgive me today. I'm asking you to watch me tomorrow and the tomorrow after that, until the work speaks louder than the man who ran. Weeks passed and the garden started breathing. I planted what I had uprooted in my youth. Your mother smiled when she found the tomatoes growing straight and honest, bearing truth. You started leaving the kitchen door unlatched when you knew I was coming up the road. You didn't say I forgive you with your language. You said it with the extra cup you stowed beside your own on the table in the morning. And I understood that love is not a speech. It's the 100 silent things that happen daily. It's the practice that forgiveness tries to teach. The apology has no end. It's in the hammer swing. It's in the showing up before the rooster sings. It's not the pretty words wrapped up in blue ink. It's the blisters on my hands and the way I stop to think. Before I speak, before I run, before I break. The apology has no end. It's what I do when I wake. It's fixing what I can and holding what I can. It's learning that love is a daily covenant, a daily covenant. The work continues. The apology has no end. No end.
garden at the end. Hoeing soil, distant bird, sparse acoustic guitar, bass centers warm and slow. Shh, the soil is waiting. Wiser hands, let's begin. The garden was a ruin when we found it, where we used to run and leave the gate wide. Now the flamboyant tree was choked with vine, and the tomatoes had long since died. We stood at the fence with our boots in the mud, looking at the mess that youth had made. We were children when we tore through here, not knowing that destruction had a shade of consequence that only age reveals. Now we're older and the ground is hard, but we came back with something in our pockets, not seeds of promise, but the truth unmarred. And I looked at you, and you looked at me, with the knowing that the work had just begun. That a garden doesn't grow from pretty wishes, it grows from blisters and the sun. Planting what we uprooted with wiser hands this time, turning over soil that we left to the vine. We're putting back the beauty that we took without knowing, watering the roots until the green starts showing. Planting what we uprooted row by row, stone by stone, building back the sanctuary we once called home. Not the same as it was, but something deeper, something true. A garden grown from ruin, me and you. You worked the hoe on the eastern side, where your mother used to plant the thyme. I cleared the bramble where the fence had fallen, where we used to hide from passing time. We planted flamboyant saplings by the roadside, so the future could see them burning red. We put in yam and sweet potato, where the empty promises had fled. Your father watched from the veranda silent, but this time he didn't turn away. He saw his daughter with her hands in the dirt, and a man who chose to stay. And I looked at you, and you looked at me, with the sweat running honest down our skin. That a garden doesn't grow from easy seasons, it grows from choosing to begin.
building back the sanctuary we once called home. Not the same as it was, but something deeper, something true. A garden grown from ruin, me and you. They say you can't go back and fix the breaking, but I say you can plant where the breaking was. You can put your hands into the wounded ground and believe in something just because. The soil remembers every seed it held, even after years of being bare. And if you come with patience and with water, something holy grows from what was there. We tore it up when we were young and reckless. We didn't know that roots need time and space. But now we're here with calluses and mercy, planting grace where there was only waste. Now the neighbors stop to watch the garden growing. They see the flamboyant tree reaching high. They see two people working side by silent side underneath the open sky. And the children come to help on Saturday mornings.
Listen to the elder, park bench wisdom between sips of rum. I was sitting on a bench in St. William Grant Park, watching pigeons fight over crumbs of bread, when an old man sat beside me with a cane made of guinea wood. And he looked at me, and this is what he said: young man, I see the city wearing on your shoulders. I see the valley fading from your eyes. You came here thinking love was something you could find, like a coin dropped on the sidewalk by surprise. He took a sip of rum from a flask wrapped in brown paper, and he offered me a drink I didn't take. He smiled and said, "That's fine, the wisdom's in the talking, not the drinking, son, make no mistake." And the sun was setting slow behind the palm, painting gold on every word he spoke. I leaned in closer, 'cause I needed something that the city hadn't turned to smoke. Lessons from the lonely, from the ones who walked alone, who loved and lost and loved again until the love was stone. He said, love is not a feeling, it's a garden you tend. It's not the lightning, it's the patience at the end. Lessons from the from his own young days, how he let his pride destroy the only home he needs, how he spent 40 years on benches just like this one, learning what the young think they already knew. I wrote her letters I never had the courage to send. I made excuses wrapped in manhood and in fear. And by the time I learned that love was asking, not demanding, she was married to a good man for 30 years. He looked at the pigeons like they were his congregation, and he said the lonely are the ones who teach the best. 'Cause we have nothing left to lose but our illusions, and no one left but you impress. And the sun dipped lower, painting shadows long. I felt the valley calling through his song. Lessons from the lonely, from the ones who walked alone, who loved and lost and loved again until the love was stoned. He said love is not a feeling, it's a garden you tend. It's not the lightning, it's the patience at the end. From the lonely, from the ones who paid the cost, who know that what is easy is the first thing to be lost. You wanna hold her, then learn to hold yourself, 'cause love is cultivated, not found on a shelf. He said go back to her, not as the boy who left, but as the man who knows what leaving cost. He said tell her the truth, even the ugly parts, 'cause love that can't hold truth is just a house built on the same. He said the lonely don't have time for pretty words. We speak in what is real and what remains, when everything else is gone. I asked him if he ever went back to his woman, if he ever knocked upon her door. He shook his head and said some gardens close their gates when the gardener don't come home no more. But you, he said, pointing with his guinea wood cane, you still have soil beneath your nails. You still remember how the flamboyant tree looked burning. You still have time to tell the truth, not tales. He stood up slow, like his bones were full of memories, and he walked away without another word. But I sat there till the streetlights came on glowing, and every lesson he had given me I heard. Lessons from the lonely, from the ones who walked alone, who loved and lost and loved again until the love was stoned. He said love is not a feeling, it's a garden you tend. It's not the lightning, it's the patience at the end. Lessons from the lonely,
The candle is burning low, exercise book, blue ink, words we were too young to send. Tuesday night, the house was sleeping. I stole a candle stub from the kitchen drawer, found an exercise book with half the pages empty, and I wrote to you like never before. I told you about the house I'd built on the hillside, with a porch that faced the morning sun. I told you I'd plant flamboyant trees in the front yard, and that our journey had only begun. But I never signed my name at the bottom, never folded it into an envelope, just pressed a kiss into the margin and hid it where the spiders go. Some futures are too fragile for the daylight. Some dreams need darkness to take root. We were architects of something we couldn't name yet, building castles without a blueprint. Letters we never mailed, sealed with candle wax, cold pressed between the lines in blue and black. We wrote our names together in imaginary ink, on pages too afraid to think. Letters we never mailed, hidden under beds, the architecture of the lives we let inside our heads. If the postman ever found them, he'd have held the story of two children who loved too deep to say it out loud, so they wrote it in the clouds. He told me later in a whisper behind the school that you had written one for me too, sealed it with wax from your mother's Sunday candle, in a color somewhere between purple and blue. You said you described the children we'd have someday, with my stubbornness and your mother's eyes. You said you asked God to keep me from the city and to protect me from the world's lies. But you buried yours beneath the guava tree, in a tin box rusted by the rain, saying when we're old we'll dig them up together and read them in the sun again. Some futures are too fragile for the daylight. Some dreams need darkness to take root. We were architects of something we couldn't name yet, building castles without a blueprint. Letters we never mailed, sealed with candle wax, hope pressed between the lines in blue and black. We wrote our names together in imaginary ink, on pages too afraid to think. And letters we never mailed, hidden under beds, the architecture of the lives we let inside our heads. If the postman ever found them, he'd have held the story of two children who loved too deep to say it the earth kept our secrets better than we did. I wonder if the words grew roots down there, if forever meant something to the soil. We were just children with stolen candles, but we were trying to light up the world, one unread letter at a time. Afraid to think. Letters we never mailed, hidden under bed. The mirror showed me who I was. Now who do I want to be? This is the hard part. I found my father's temper sitting in my chest, like a cold that he had passed down through the blood. I heard his voice come out my mouth one Tuesday, when the bus was late and the coffee spilled like mud. I saw the fear flash in my roommate's eyes, and I recognized that look from my mother's face, the way she used to shrink against the kitchen wall when my father's thunder filled the place. I went to the bathroom and I stared at the sink, and I washed my hands like I could wash it off. But the rage was in the marrow, in the muscle. It was soft, it was so, it was enough. And I knew then that the cycle wasn't broken, that I had carried it inside me like a stone. And if I didn't do the work to crush it, I'd be the father that I swore I'd never known. Healing is a rebellion, not a feeling, not a move. It's a war against the legacy of everything that bruised. It's a waking up and choosing not to be the wound. Healing is a rebellion. questions that nobody had asked me. About the boy I was, about the man, about the war. Inside my chest, between the valley and the city, between the child who loved and the man who ran. We unpacked my suitcase full of silent sorrows. We named the things I couldn't understand. I learned that anger was just a mask for grieving, that my father's silence was his own unwept tears, that the temper wasn't power, it was prison, and I'd been locked inside it all these years. And I knew that the cycle could be broken, but only if I faced it head on in the light. Not with rum, not with women, not with running, but with courage in the middle of the night. Healing is a rebellion, not a feeling, not a mood. It's a war against the legacy of everything that bruised. It's a waking up and choosing not to be the wound. Healing is a rebellion, and I'm marching to a different tune. I went down on my knees in the fourth floor room. I said, God, if you're there, I need some room to become someone my children won't have to forget. Healing is a rebellion, and I'm learning how to live. They say hurt people, but healed people heal people too. I don't wanna be a chain in the link. I wanna be the one who breaks through. So I pray when I don't feel like praying. I breathe when I want to explode. I write the letter I should have written years ago. I say I'm sorry, even when my pride says no. This is the labor, this is the rebellion, this is the war I fight, so I can come home. Yeah, now when the anger comes, I greet it like a stranger. I ask it, what are you protecting me from? And I listen like the therapist taught me, until the stranger softens and becomes just a boy who was scared, just a child who was wounded, just a heart that didn't know how to say, I'm hurting, I'm broken, I need some help here. So I hold that boy and I tell him it's okay. And I choose every morning to be different, to be patient, to be gentle, to be kind. Not because it's easy.
is rusty. My hands are empty. May I come in? I stood at the gate for 10 long minutes before my hand would touch the ledge. My shoes were clean, but my soul was dirty from every road I couldn't match, to the one that led me back to here. I saw your father through the kitchen window, bent over something I couldn't see, and I remembered how he looked at me the last time, like I was the reason you couldn't be free. I remembered how he said the city takes them, how he shook his head and walked away, and I wondered if a man could change enough in the years since that hard goodbye day. So I stood there with my palms turned outward, showing I had nothing left to hide. No suitcase full of city promises, just the truth I couldn't leave outside. At the gate of your father's yard, I'm standing older, I'm standing softer than the boy who ran. I'm not asking for his blessing with my language, I'm asking with the shape of who I am. At the gate of your father's yard with empty hands, hoping that my presence is the only proof I need, that I didn't come back to take and leave again. I came back to plant, I came back to see, I came back to see. The dog barked once and then he recognized me, or maybe he just smelled the valley on my skin. Your father looked up from the kitchen window, and the silence that fell was where the test began. He walked out slow, wiping his hands on his apron, the same one he wore when I was just a child. He stood on the veranda and he looked at me like he was reading every mile I had compiled. Every wrong turn, every woman, every empty, every night I spent becoming someone new. And I wanted to speak, but my throat was closing, so I let my eyes say what I couldn't do. I stood there with my felt like forever, just looked at me with eyes that held the years. Then he nodded toward the house, not a welcome, but not a turning away. And I understood that a father's yard is holy ground, and I had to earn the right to walk it again, step by step, day by day, with empty hands. I stepped through the gate and it felt like baptism. The hinges sang like they were giving me a song. Your father turned and walked back to the kitchen, and I followed like I knew where I belonged. Not because he said I was forgiven, but because he let me cross the line. And I knew that love, real love, is built in silence, in the space between your mind and your fine. I sat at the table where I wasn't offered coffee, but I wasn't asked to leave either. And I sat there in the mercy of the moment, knowing I was standing at the gate of something deeper. At the gate of your father's yard, I'm standing older.
Another dream, another stranger. They all want the body, but none can read the soul. Met her at a basement club in Halfway Tree, where the lights are red and the rum is cheap. She said I look like someone she could trust. I said, darling, trust is not what I keep. She laughed and put her hand upon my knee, asked me questions I could answer with a lie. I told her I was from the country, from the valley, but I didn't tell her why. I didn't tell her that your ghost was sitting between us at that sticky table, that every time she leaned in close to kiss me, I was measuring her against something stable. And she was beautiful in all the obvious ways, but beauty without knowing is just a passing phase. Strangers who knew your name, they don't know a thing. They trace the outline, but they can't find the spring that waters the garden, that feeds the root. They want the flower, but they don't want the fruit. Strangers who knew your name, they hold me at night, but their hands are just shadows that can't hold the light. I close my eyes and I whisper your name, 'cause nobody else can read me the same. There was another down by the harbor where the ships come in and the salt air stings. She said she loved the way I talked about the moon, but she never asked me about anything. We danced to music that wasn't lovers rock. She moved her body like she was trying to forget, and I held her like I was supposed to hold someone, but my hands were full of debt to a memory, debt to a promise, debt to the girl in the yellow dress who was somewhere in a classroom learning while I was failing every test. And she was warm in all the obvious ways, but warmth without history is just a passing
They ask me what I'm thinking, and I say nothing, but I'm thinking about the way you knew that I take my coffee with too much sugar, that I hum when I'm nervous, that I cry at the end of sad songs. These strangers, they just want the performance. You wanted the rehearsal, the mess, the unscripted, the real. So I stopped going to the basement club, stopped pretending that the void could fill, stopped letting bodies that didn't know my language write their stories on my skin. And I sat by the window of that fourth floor room, and I wrote you a letter I still didn't send, saying the city is full of beautiful strangers, but none of them know where I end and where you begin, and where the valley starts and where the flamboyant tree still burns. They don't know that I was someone before them, and they can't teach me what I need to learn. Strangers who knew your name, they don't know a thing. They chase the outline, but they can't find the spring that waters the garden, that feeds the root. They want the flower, but they don't want the fruit. Strangers who knew your name, they hold me at night. Their hands are just shadows that can't hold the light. I close my eyes and I whisper your name, 'cause nobody else can read me the same. Nobody else can read me the same. Stranger, they just want the body of you. You wanted the soul.
Pedal fast, no brakes, no brakes. Borrowed wheels, borrowed time. Hey, 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 hey. Mr. Gordon's bicycle chain half rusted, seat too high, brakes barely trusted. You on your cousin's blue BMX, racing the sun. like we were running